about you, but I was never taught about fucking credit.
We weren't either.
I was never taught about saving.
No.
Credit, savings. I was never taught about interest. Interest rates.
Nope.
None of that.
None of it.
All I knew, like, my life was like moving around, jumping around,
making money and spending money.
Not even making money and spending money. Just being unstable.
Well, the making money part, I've always seen, like, my dad and my mom didn't really work with us coming up, but my daddy, we always saw, like, him working.
Yeah.
So,
see, what you see from your dad now is you see the stability. You see what he's done and what he's amassed, right? Once he dies, it'll be things to be handed out, right?
Yeah.
You see the work that came from him and the decisions that he made, right? I had to learn that outside of my house.
Right.
I didn't learn that inside of my house.
But I will say, we never learned about, like, credit.
Yeah. Nope.
Nope. Nothing about credit. One thing about it, my sisters and I, we were out of the house, like, as soon as we could get out and get our own, we were out of the house.
And had no idea.
And we had no idea on how to navigate through life. We didn't. But we worked. We knew how to work. We knew how to work, and we knew how to make money, and we knew how to pay bills. And that was taught from my dad. Because we didn't watch him do that. That's just part of it. That's just part of it, because
you don't make enough.
That's true.
You don't make enough for big ticket items, right?
That's true.
And you need to have credit for that.
You do.
And
point blank, period.
Yeah, and that's when you go to get something,
and let's just say the average
and they tell
person,
you no. That's when you understand credit.
Right. I mean, the fact that we were able to buy a home and then turn around and buy 2 new cars.
Yeah.
Credit is everything.
Credit and income.
Credit and income is everything. It's everything. A lot of people was kind of shocked. Like, how on earth did you get to buy 2 cars? Well, did y'all get to buy 2 cars
credit
in the same year as your
and
credit?
Income.
And income.
Credit and income.
Yep.
Like, that's it. Basically, you can have the income, right? But you got to have enough income, like, just to buy what you want.
Correct.
Right? But if you don't have enough income to buy what you want, that's where the credit comes in.
True.
Right? So if your credit is bad, you won't be able to do what you want to do.
Correct. And that's a fact.
You won't be able to do what you want.
That is a fact.
It's just not going to happen for you. Or if it does, you might find these places that'll make it happen for you, but you're paying triple of what the shit is worth.
True that. When we first married, we were so young. We were so young.
Yeah.
And we got ourselves naive. And we got ourselves into so much debt. So much debt to the point where we had to file a Chapter 7.
Yeah.
We filed a Chapter 7, but that didn't stop us. We always had good jobs. We were always able to land good jobs. And as a matter of fact, we
run that back. Run that back.
You don't think I
run it back?
I always had a good job and multiple jobs.
That part.
Now listen.
That part.
Now listen.
Yeah, that part.
I never stayed on the job.
Yeah, that part. Yeah.
I never stayed on the job.
Yeah.
I must admit that. Like, I've never stayed. Like, I've been on my current job now for 16 years.
Yeah.
This is the longest that I've ever stayed on the job. Dennis has been on his job for like 20 years. Right? Or close to?
I was on, yeah.
Close to 20?
Not over 20. Over 20, yeah. And then like the one I worked before this one, I was there for like 5 before I left, before they went underwater, because they was popping. They was popping at one time. They was popping. They was popping. Like, everybody wanted to be up there. And like Best Buy came through and was like, pow! Get out of here, Circuit City.
Yeah.
But I was gone before that happened. Oh, I saw Neil today. Neil.
You did?
Yeah, I saw Neil.
Oh, how was he?
I saw Neil. He alright. He matter of fact, he called me and I'm looking around. I'm like, I recognize the voice because it's a high pitched voice.
Where's he working now?
I don't know. I ain't do all
we asked different questions.
I ain't do
I
all
surely
that.
would have said,
I was like, yo, what's up?
Now?
I was like, yo, he was like, Dennis. I was like, I'm looking around and shit. I'm looking. And then I see him come from behind the truck. I was like, yo, what's up? What's up?
But you'd be so curious to know, like, you know, what route did you go, like, after Circuit City? Because all y'all worked, well, and then, okay, y'all, so I also worked for, I didn't work for Circuit City, but I worked for a company, yeah, I worked for a company that was contracted through Circuit City, and this was the corporate office. Circuit City's been going for years and years, and I don't even know, like, was Circuit City worldwide? I don't know. Yeah. Or was it?
It was in all 50 states, but it was the headquarters was here.
Was based here,
but the stores were like all over the United States.
Okay, that I didn't know.
Yeah, So because we used to ship from our building to like all the stores.
Okay.
But the corporate center was
here
where we were at.
Yes. Yeah. Long gone, y'all. It's been over 20 years.
No, it's still over there.
No, it's not.
The building,
the building is still there, but Circuit City Circuit City's been going for 20 years.
They been going. They out of business. Yeah, they been going.
Yeah, Circuit City. Yeah, so that's how we met.
They been going, but we were like young then.
Yeah.
You ain't like.
I won't even 20 then. I think I was like 19.
Yeah,
I think I was like 19.
I think I was like 24, 25, something like that.
I was a baby.
But that was a good job back then for me.
Right. Yeah. That was a hella good job.
I got a good job. But even then I didn't know like the shit that I know now.
Yeah.
And I wish I did because I'd have moved differently.
Well, experience is a good teacher.
It is if you let it. A lot of people they get.
Well, experience is a good teacher for us because we brought our first house. Okay, y'all, we got married. We lived in an apartment for what? How many years? I guess
we lived in an apartment, townhouse.
We were just all over the place. We never stayed like in one place for over.
We lived in a house.
Years, yes.
We lived in a couple. We lived in a couple of houses.
Yeah, we had two. We had one. Where did we live at when we first were married? Oh, I know.
Chamberlain?
Nuh-uh. Yes.
Yeah.
We lived on Chamberlain Avenue. Y'all probably don't even know all of these landmarks that I'm naming. But if you're from Richmond, then you know. So we lived on Chamberlain Avenue, and then we moved from Chamberlain, and that was like
we moved from Chamberlain to Chamberlain.
We did.
Yeah.
We did, because we moved from a 2-bedroom to a 1-bedroom. No, we moved from a 1-bedroom to a 2-bedroom.
Yeah.
And it was a rinky-dink ass apartment. Now that I think about it, but it was lit though.
Well, back then
it was good for a young
back
couple.
then, like when you young, it was great.
But Chamberlain is not the place to live.
But it's not like
Chamberlain is not
even back then. Chamberlain was better than it is now.
True that.
You know,
I could never. I would never say never, but Lord, I would do everything that I can possibly do before I live on Chamberlain Avenue. That's just what that is.
I'll pull up the Chamberlain and Azalea, right? And you know it's a gas station and it's a check cashing place right down on the corner. I'm at the light. This is like Sunday morning. I'm at the fucking light and I'm like, what is that? And then, it's motherfucker just walking over there by the bus stop. So the light changed. Boom, and I pull up and I'm like, I'm driving past and I'm looking because I'm just astounded. I'm like, I know this is not what I think it is.
I may have to.
That's fine.
Watching my channel.
You gonna edit this shit out anyway. But look, I said,
tricking.
Yes.
Wow.
7:30 in the goddamn morning.
This is a shame.
I'm right.
You really will probably see.
Wow.
Y'all, I don't know if I can keep this story that he just told.
I said, wow. That's what I said.
Let's just say,
wow.
You go on Chamberlain Avenue here in Richmond, and you don't
Chamberlain
even know.
And Azalea.
You don't even know what you see.
You gonna see something right there.
And North Side in general. So y'all, we brought our first house in our 20s, early 20s too.
And had no idea what the hell we were doing.
What we were doing. We didn't know anything about, well, apparently our credit was good, huh?
No, it wasn't.
Well, it was average. It landed us a house.
No, it wasn't average. It wasn't average either. It was bad.
We didn't have bad. I didn't have anything on my.
Bad.
Well,
bad.
If anything, I didn't have any credit.
It was bad.
Because
no credit is kind of like not having.
But you know what probably made my credit good is because I had just paid a car off.
Look, I'm telling you, that shit was bad. But see, at the time when we bought the house, that's when right before we bought the house, I say like a year before we bought the house, that's when the market crashed.
Oh, let me tell you why the credit went bad. I left this part out. We had just filed bankruptcy. Yes, we did. We had just filed bankruptcy.
Do you know what the scores were?
But listen to me. We filed Chapter 7 bankruptcy, right? We filed Chapter 7. I remember this. We filed Chapter 7 bankruptcy. And less than a year, we bought a house. I was shocked too because I didn't think that we could do it. But we just, and I don't even know, like.
What I'm telling you is you can do that. You could do that back then. You could buy a house back then with a 580.
I understand that now, but I'm not talking about the present. I'm talking about back then. I'm explaining
That's what I'm saying.
But that's neither here. Yeah, that's
back
neither here
then
nor
you could buy a house with no money down with a 580 credit score.
I get that. I know you can't do it now.
A 580 is not good.
Right. 580 is not good, but guess what? 580 got you into a home. Now either it was your decision to, not your decision, but I guess the way your stuff was set up to either win or fail, right? So listen, we had just filed bankruptcy. Our credit score was probably, like he said, 580, not over 600, but we were still able to buy a home, right? With no down payment. The house was probably for $96,000. It was for 96. I'll never forget. It was under 100. No, it was under 100. Maybe it was 80 something.
No, it wasn't.
It won't over 100.
The first house we looked at was like 80. The first house we looked at was over there off of
both houses were in Northside.
What's that street right there?
Brooklyn Park.
Yeah, the first house was off Brooklyn Park. It was that white house.
I hated that house.
Yeah, it was that white house. That was around 85. And then we looked at the other joint. That was 112.
112.
It was 112.
I have to go back because I keep all the paperwork. I still have.
It was 112.
I'm gonna go look because I still have the deed and everything from that first house that we bought. Listen, the house was nice as hell. It was a location that wasn't like, the location sucked, but the house was nice. Let me tell you how
it needed a little work,
but it was a nice size. It was huge. But the house was bigger than the one that we're in now. Yeah. We had 4 bedrooms, 2 full baths, a half a bath. It was a really nice house.
A basement and an attic.
A basement, an attic. The house was beautiful, especially because that was our first house. I was even shocked. Even our family couldn't believe that. They were like, oh my God, who gave y'all a house? Because we were so young. Y'all, they played us.
Yeah, they did.
We didn't know a damn thing about credit. We didn't know about
they did.
An FHA loan.
Sometimes you gotta blow shit to learn shit.
That's true. My camera cut off, y'all. But yes, that is so true, Dennis. And like I was saying, we didn't know anything about an FHA loan and what that entails. Nor did we know about a conventional loan. We didn't know shit about shit. We just didn't know. We just knew that somebody said yes, and so we went for it. Y'all, they set us up for failure. Even when I think about the realtor we had, and guess what? Y'all, back then, we only looked at 2 houses. You realize that, Dennis?
Yeah.
We looked at 2, and I'm just thinking about then when
She took us where she wanted us to go.
Yes, and we just went with it because we just didn't know any better, and we didn't have anyone to tell us either. We didn't. We just was like, okay, well, she's the realtor, and she was an older white lady. Not that that means anything, but she was an older white lady, and she just took us where she thought we should be, and we just went for it. So we did not know. So it's like, you know, Dennis and I sit down and we have these conversations, and we compare ourselves 20 years earlier versus now, and it's so different. And God has put us in a different space. He's educated us like to the T. This house is just perfect. Like, we knew everything going into this. Like, everything there's to know about credit, FHA loans, conventional loans, just how everything works in general. And you would honestly think that someone of our age would just automatically know, just to have that common sense, and really no. If you're not taught at an early age, you will screw up your credit. You don't even know what it is to have a great credit line. A lot of people don't realize that credit is more valuable than money.
Yeah.
All of those things. And you just, they don't teach you these things in school. So either you have a family base around you that's teaching you these things, or shit, you just winging it on your own. And so, yeah, like I told you, my daddy really showed us the value of like working and everything like that, and how you make money to make ends meet and to live the life that you want to live. But as far as credit, we had to figure that out, y'all, especially Dennis and I, and being married for so long, for 20 plus years, and being together in general for like 20 some years. We had to learn that crap on our own, and it has not been easy at all.
When I first found out about credit,
when
I went to go get an apartment, and I had a cable bill in my name.
Wow.
From when I was 15 years old.
And that's when you...
That's when I learned about credit, because they told me no.
Yeah. As far as I can remember, I've always had, like, when I turned 18, I got a job. Not only did I have one job, I had two jobs. My first job was Hardee's, and then I was working in this like adult facility before I got licensed in nursing. I was working in this little facility where you didn't have to have a license. And y'all, I've always worked two jobs because I always just really wanted to be on my own. And that's exactly like my daddy. I know my dad's watching this video, and because he watches all of my videos, I know dad is watching this video. And the one thing he's always said is, you know, I never have to worry about you and your sisters. Y'all have always been independent. Y'all have always worked for what you want, and we have always stood on our own. Like my oldest sister, she had her baby at a young age, and so she was emancipated. I don't know if you guys have ever heard that term before, but it's a thing here in Virginia, and I don't know, like in other states, where the judge will deem you grown, so they will emancipate you. So she was emancipated at the age of 16, which meant she was considered an adult, and so she was able to get her own apartment. And from that moment, like, we were with her. So we've been on our own for a really long time, and holding it down, and it's not easy. It was not easy at all, y'all. At all. Like, just thinking back, the struggle, and just trying to work and provide and just have something. And I think, you know, that's why my drive is think about. Like, it is so crazy. Right now, Dennis and I, we're in our 40s, approaching 50, like in a few years. And you know, I think about my future and what I want for my future, what our retirement is going to look like. I just can't think day by day. You know, I have to plan my life out. I do. I know some people can wing it and just think about tomorrow or even next week, but me, no. I
can't win.
What?
I'm gonna have to call the lawn people.
Y'all.
Cause I can't win.
Dennis,
with this shit.
Dennis and his lawn, y'all.
I gotta call him. I need some help.
Dennis say he needs to hire some help. Hire some help. Y'all, he's been trying to get the lawn together, and he was like, he just can't. But yeah, I want to come on and do like a Q&A. I think we may do that.
That damn crabgrass is the devil.
Is it?
Yes.
Him and my wine. Y'all, yesterday
crabgrass, man.
Is it the worst?
That shit is like you can't, and it's too much of it. I can't do nothing with it.
We may have to call True
I gotta
Green.
call. Yeah, I gotta call the people out here to do something with that shit.
We may have to call True Green, but now it's too late. You know, it's
Well,
too late now. It's too
wait.
late in the season. We have to wait
I gotta
now.
wait till fall.
Yeah, because I think they can pre-treat it.
Yeah.
In the fall
And then
for
they're
the spring.
gonna have to come back after winter and
finish
put
it up.
seed down and shit.
Mm-hmm.
But like that shit is out there, and you pull up 8 more grow.
Mm-hmm.
It's like that shit is bad out there.
If y'all have any questions as it relates to credit and the process of buying a home and what to do to save up to do so, money moves, things of that nature, let us know, because we didn't have anyone to tell us. We had to figure it out
With the Q&A.
Yeah, that's what I'm telling them now. They can just drop some questions down below. We had to really figure it out on our own.
Yeah,
like
we
real
really
talk,
did.
we
Yep.
did.
Yep.
We had to figure it out.
But what happened was we talked to people that were professionals, and they told us, because once you pay money, once you pay money for a service, that's the only time people are really gonna tell you anything, right? But what we want to do is give you the gym for free.
Yes.
And let you rock out with it off of our experience. But yeah, we learn how to move from putting out money and talking to people that like actually do the work. Right.
And we have experience with bankruptcy. Yeah. If you have filed bankruptcy and someone's telling you that you can't buy a home, it's a lie.
They're telling the goddamn
It's
lie.
a lie. We can tell you about Chapter 7 and we can tell you about 13.
Actually, 13 is the best way to go.
13 is the best way.
Best
we
way
can
to
tell
go
you about both. Why? Because we've been there. We've been there. We can tell them.
With 13, with 7, you just done for 7 years. You just done.
You just done.
You just done. But with 13, you're actually paying off your creditors.
That's what I meant to
and
ask
it builds your score.
When we filed 7, did we wait 13? We didn't wait. How many years before you can buy a home?
It's different.
It's different now.
It's different
okay.
now.
I'm just still
if
thinking.
If you file a 7 now, you just done for 7.
Okay.
Because you could file a 7. You could file a 7 right now, right? And everything is wiped clean, but you got to wait those 7 years.
Gotcha.
Right, but with a 13 is not like that.
No.
Even now, it's not like that.
No. I know that.
Because the whole time you're in a 13, your credit score is building.
Right.
Because you're not walking away from your debt. You're paying your debt.
Yes. It's like you consolidating pretty much.
Yeah. But you're consolidating, but nobody can come after you.
Exactly.
They got to get away from you.
Correct.
And a payment plan is set up, and you stay on. Well, you might be hurting through that payment process.
Yeah.
You're gonna be hurting through that payment process. Yeah. But at the end of the rainbow, it's worth it. Right? It's not easy. It's hard. It's very hard.
You know what though? It's all about prioritizing. That's it. You just prioritize and you do what's most important. You know what's important.
And then like the other part of it is like a lot of people are by themselves.
That's correct.
They're by themselves.
That's true.
We had each other and we had two incomes. So if your income is not enough for you to do that, then yeah, go with the 7 and go with the 7, chop the head off the snake, and just wait it out.
It's ways around everything. But even if you do have to go with the 7, it's ways around everything. Especially if you have a really, really great lawyer, bankruptcy lawyer. They know all the law. Yeah, it matters though. That matters.
I'm telling you, like a 7 is a 7.
I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying.
I'm talking about now. I'm not talking about back then.
I see what you're saying.
You can get away with that shit back then, but like now.
Reason being is because I work with somebody, and of course I'm not going to give her information out. But I work with somebody that filed a 7, and she's in the process of working with Joy.
Joy is a beast.
That was our relative.
Joy is a beast.
Lord to God be the glory. He's brought us through.
Well,
and it's so many of our kind that deserve. It's so many of our kind that deserve to be homeowners. to have their own, to be able to say, okay, I can leave this behind for my children or my nieces or my nephew or just your family in general. And I love to see it, honey. I love to see it. Like, it's nothing like going on YouTube. I love to watch, like
us doing it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, I love to see it too.
I love to see it.
I love to see it too.
And so a lot of people just don't have that information or that resources or even people to school them. Or, you know. Where's my ink pen? Things of
Why
that
do people
nature.
say ink pen? Like, what else, what else is in the pen?
Oh, no.
What else is in the pen?
That's so true now that I think about it. Because you can say, where's my pen? You could be talking about a safety pen.
Most people, when you say, where's my pen, most people know you're talking about something to write with.
But still, you have to be specific. You have to be specific, y'all. Also, too, y'all, I'm just sitting here right now doing my bill payment breakdown. And these are some sheets that I created for Dennis and I. And it just has our monthly bills like here on the side, and it's blank. This one is blank because of course I'm not going to show y'all, you know, my bills, my personal information. But this one is blank. I actually made this on Word, and it's like these bill payment sheets because yeah, these are important that you do. So you can have a breakdown of your bills. So it just says bill payment breakdown, and it just has our bills, the due date, and the amount or estimated amount, and just for like you know, like your regular bills. It looks like, I don't know if y'all can see that.
That's an important thing too.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Dates.
And absolutely.
Dates are very important. Dates are very important. So you kind of want to look at like what you make, your expenses for the month, and when everything is due.
Yep.
You have to pay the shit
when it's due.
When it's due.
Yep. Period.
And no matter what's going on, you got to pay the shit when it's due. Because that's a big part of your credit. Being on time is part of your credit.
Right.
You don't want lates.
Big fact.
Especially if you're trying to buy a house.
Especially if you're trying to buy a house.
You don't want no lates.
Especially if you're trying to buy a house. That's just what it is.
You don't want no lates. You don't want no repos. You don't want no lates.
And things happen, just try to avoid it.
Yeah.
Try to avoid it. Even if you feel like if you have a bill that you know is going to be behind, call them and people talk to them. That's all it takes.
And
I know sometimes
and get them not to mark your shit late.
Yeah, I know sometimes it's a hassle. And I'm saying all this because someone did ask me, like, what's the process? What do you need to do? What if your credit's not great? So forth and so on. So I'm just touching on a few things. I won't kind of like...
well, if your credit is not that great, you got to have some money. Get your weight up. It don't matter what you got going on. You want certain things. You want certain things to pop for you. Get your weight up.
Yep.
Do what it takes.
And that means if you have
sacrifice. Do what it takes.
I was going to say that.
Do what
you
it
took
takes.
the words right out
Do
of
what
my
it
mouth.
takes.
Even if you're single and you don't have that additional help, get a second job. It may not be what you want to do, but just trust the process. Get you a second job. Get a part-time job and bank that money. YouTube. It's so many ways to make money now.
Make it happen.
Versus back when you and I, back like 20 years ago when we first started. Right now, it's so many different ways to make money.
It's harder now. Like it's harder now to get stuff, but it's easy to make money now.
Yes, it is.
It's easy because you don't even have to leave your house.
You don't.
You don't have to leave your house.
So make it work for you.
Yeah, do it.
Make it work for you.
We ain't had that option back then.
Nope. Don't you know how happy I was when I opened up our account and saw that YouTube payment?
Yeah.
I was like, okay.
And I'm looking at the account like, where this shit come from?
Yeah, I'm like I was kind of shocked. Because y'all know, like, I'm getting better with trying to be consistent, but I'm not as consistent as I should be. But I should be, because yeah, I was like, okay, I see you.
We need to take them on a movie night. Like, now we can't do that because we can't take the camera in the
I feel some kind of way about going to the movie theater now. I don't know what it is.
You know what?
It makes me nervous.
I saw my brother at the tennis court.
Did you?
Going to you know, I seen them all the time.
Oh yeah.
At the tennis court, coming back from Dollar General.
Today?
Yeah, it was him, Vango, Nika, and what's the little boy name? Tia's son.
Okay.
Was out there. Name. And you know, cause I had hit him up yesterday about seeing the movie. He was like, "Yo, I might fuck with you. Just let me know. Send me some show times." You know, I pulled up on him. Bomb. Like, yo, we might go, we might not, right? But he was like, "Yo, I talked to my wife about it, and she not with it."
Me either.
And I'm like, I get it.
Some kind of way.
And like, actually thinking about it, I ain't with it either. I ain't with it either.
What's Nico's reservation? Why she don't want to?
Yours, the same shit. This COVID shit.
Just don't feel comfortable,
this
y'all.
COVID shit. And the new strain is popping.
What's up with that?
The new strain is popping.
What is up with that? That's crazy.
Like, yo.
That's crazy.
Cause he had mentioned he had said something to her, right?
And
she was like, "Nah, I ain't nah."
Yeah.